Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. How are you today? I hope all of you are doing well. Welcome to Year 4 English PDPR lesson. Today we are going to focus on language arts with the topic of graphic novel The Jungle Book. Before we start our lesson today, let us look at the learning objectives for today's lesson. Number 1, by the end of today's lesson, you will be able to design a poster based on the message learned from the story of The Jungle Book. Number 2, by the end of today's lesson, you will be able to describe 5 main characters using suitable moral value or message in the poster. How about the success criteria for today's lesson? What we can do in today's lesson to achieve the learning objectives for today's lesson? Number 1, you can list 6 main characters in the story. Number 2, you can design a poster based on the message learned from the story. And number 3, you can write the moral value or message of the story. Can we continue our lesson? Let us begin our lesson by listing 6 main characters in the story. Do you still remember the main characters in the story? Let us list down the main characters in the story. There are 6 main characters, which are Mowgli, Baloo, Kaa, Bagheera, Shere Khan, and Akela. So let me introduce to you, let me tell you once again, who's Mowgli? Mowgli is the boy who was raised by wolves. He's brave, determined, grateful, and intelligent. Another main character is Baloo. Baloo, the bear, which is Mowgli's best friend. It's loving. Another main character in the story is Baloo, the bear, which is Mowgli's best friend. He's loving and protective. The next main character in the story of The Jungle Book is Kaa, the python, which is helpful. Another main character in the story of The Jungle Book is Bagheera, the black panther, which is thoughtful and protective. The next main character in the story of The Jungle Book is Shere Khan, the evil tiger, which is determined and vengeful or revengeful. The last main character in the story of The Jungle Book is Akela, which is the leader of the wolf pack. He is respectful and fair. Let us discuss the moral value or message of the story. Here are some of the moral values from the story. Number 1, good over evil. Number 2, kindness. Number 3, love. Number 4, sense of belonging. Number 5, appreciation. And number 6, respect. Then, here we have some message from the story. Number 1, we should know how to differentiate between the good and the bad. Number 2, we should be kind to one another. Number 3, we should love our family and friends. Number 4, we should never forget our roots. Number 5, we should appreciate sacrifices made by others. Number 6, we should respect others irrespective of their age, gender, and background. Before we end our lesson today, I would like you to design a poster creatively based on the message learned from the story. In your poster, you have to use 5 pictures of the main characters chose based on each moral value and message. For example, in your poster, you choose Mowgli, Bagheera, Baloo, Akela, and Shere Khan. So, you have to put these 5 pictures in your poster. And then, you have to write the moral value and message for each characters chose on the poster. For example, here in your poster, you have used Mowgli. So you have to write the moral value and the message for Mowgli. Example, Mowgli, the moral value, appreciation. We should appreciate sacrifices made by others. Then, let's say Bagheera. Bagheera, the moral value for Bagheera, you have to write down, for example, sense of belonging. So, the message for Bagheera is, we should never forget our roots. Then, how about Baloo? Baloo is loving. So, we have learned the moral value from Baloo is loving. We learned the message from Baloo is, we should love our family and friends. So, we have to write down. You have to write down on your poster. Then, how about Akela? You have to write down on your poster, Akela. The moral value for Akela is respect. Then you have to write down the message from Akela. We should respect others irrespective of their age, gender, and background. Then the last one, Shere Khan. What we learned from Shere Khan. You have to write down the moral value we learned from Shere Khan is good over evil. Then you have to write down the message we learned from Shere Khan. We should know how to differentiate between the good and the bad. So, your poster could be like this. This is the example of the poster to give you some ideas on how to design your poster. With that, I would like to end today's lesson. Hope to see you in the next lesson. See you then. Bye-bye.